Good evening, everyone. This is Brother Benson, and I'm joined with Miguda through audio. Miguda, how is your evening?
Hello, bro. I've been good. All good. How are you?
I'm good. Is everything okay?
Very much okay. We are managing
Uh,
as ordinary citizens.
as ordinary citizens. So, what is the difference? Who is an ordinary citizen and who is not an ordinary citizen?
Ordinary citizen is just me and you, and
Mhm.
there are those people who feel that they are first class citizens, those political class people.
So, how si
That's the difference.
tunasema kwamba ni si wananchi wa kawaida ama Mkenya wa kawaida, wanasemaga aje? Wananchi wa kawaida ama wale
Si wananchi wa kawaida, ni wananchi lakini wale wa first class citizens, but they are just citizens of the Republic of Kenya.
okay, they hold the top cream in the society. So
They got privileges and many opportunities when it comes to employment, when it comes to
mhm,
contract, and
yeah,
many other things.
yeah, okay, that's good. Um, there's an issue here that I want to share with you, and maybe to get your say or your word on it. I hope you saw the video of this young man who um chopped the body parts of the wife and put it on the backpack and. I don't know where he was going, but luckily enough, the law enforcement were able to identify the person and ask him and questioning. Then from there, the law enforcement told him to open his bag. Then the chopped body of the dead wife or the slain wife was in those bags, in the backpack. What does this one say about our mental state, especially the majority of Kenya about their mental state? Because if somebody can reach that point whereby you'd kill your wife and cut the body into pieces and put it in the bag and just carry it and walk with it on the street as if things is normal.
I don't think that we can still measure the insanity or sanity of the person unless there is a profession or there's an expert from the like a doctor who can actually identify whether the person was insane or not insane. But the act itself was not good. It's an act that even if the person, if at all it was a sane person, but
Mhm.
how was he insane? Because he has been living with this wife for a long time and such things have never happened before. It means that the things that happen right now is like
Hello? Me good, I've lost you. Yeah, me good that you're muted. I've lost you. Okay. Okay, thank you. Me good. Okay, I've lost me good ism because like I'm just trying to think about it at a point whereby you've been living with this person for the longest time and maybe there's a disagreement that has occurred and you go as far as chopping this person and put it on the.
okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I lost you at some point. Yeah. So what were you
I,
saying?
I was saying it's a very bad act. First, it's a criminal act, and we should not do such act as a people of Kenya. Most of the person who was caught, the perpetrator, who
Mhm.
actually slain the body of the wife and put the parts into the backpack, and the law enforcement caught up with him. And
Mm.
I saw him appearing before a court in Nairobi, and there he was put in custody for some times.
Mhm.
They're still doing some investigation, and maybe they're still doing some uh, test whether they want to test the capacity, whether he was insane or sane, because sometimes you can tell someone who was acting out of insanity or acting out of some usage of drugs, maybe to that extent.
Yeah.
But it is not a good act in the society,
Mhm.
because taking one's life, we have been condemning this issue of criminal activities like taking someone's life, because that right, you cannot give it back to that person. You don't need to take it. No one's allowed to take someone's life. It's a very bad act, and we should find out the exact What was the intention? Was there any intention? Why was the person acting in that capacity? Whether we must find the facts of that case, whether there was intention or reasons that led to that slaying.
Okay. Can you hear me, Miguda? Okay. I think Miguda is breaking. Yes. So, that on the face value, sometimes it requires, even though we might say that we are not at a positions or as a psychiatrist to go and check whether his mind was very stable, but on a normal circumstances, by him just doing that and also carrying those the slain wife body into parts and walking on the street, that alone speaks about the state of the mind. Something might not be right with the mind, or there must be something hidden that we do not know. So sometimes I think, as much as we are in the country, or we the state of the mind, the health, the mental health is something that should be given a priority. What is the state of your mind? What is the state of the health of your mind and all that? Because sometimes with also challenges that everybody is going through, yeah. So sometimes also that one can affect uh, the state of the mind. So it is quite sad for it to happen, but hopefully the law enforcement will take him through um, uh, to the doctor so that we can know the real issues, and maybe they come up with a conclusive evidence, and that one will be like a case study. And also, there's some of the things that also uh, uh, where that person stays. There's those red flags that you have to look um, on such person, and if you are staying or is living within your community, what are uh, the abnormalities or the behaviors that you might have witnessed with this person? If he was somebody who was, say, staying around the community, what were the behaviors? Was he acting abnormally, or was he acting abnormal, or he was acting out of the usual that we know? So those are some of the things that we have to look at. And also maybe if somebody who is close to the lady where whom she was staying with, was there any report that the lady might have given to the family friends or to the friends about the person that they were with, if they were told they were married? So those are the red flags that we you have to point, and that one might give the direction where things are. And also, sometimes you need to be very proactive, especially if you realize somebody is acting abnormally. You need to report to the relevant authorities. Take that precautions, before it reach a point whereby it hits you hard the way it happened to the man, especially together with the wife who he is laying. So it happens. So the state of mind sometimes need to be checked. And so many people, especially in the country, go through mental meltdown. Maybe depression is always there. Challenges of life. Sometimes you cannot provide, and you want to provide. So what do you do? Sometimes there's also disappointment along the way. So people feel like, okay, now I have to take, kama ni kupoteza tupoteze wote. So that is something that is there. That is my take. I'm still waiting for Miguda. I think I lost him. This is also an issue as I wait for Miguda, so that for us to discuss. And this is the issue of tribalism. Tribalism is one area where I think as a country we need to have a candid conversation, and the people who should have a conversation on the tribalism is the people of Kenya themselves. Because I tend to believe, or I tend to feel, that if such conversation are left to the leaders, they might mislead us on what they are saying or what they are campaigning against. In the history of our country, one of the sensitive issues about our country politics is about tribalism. Is big. And most of the time, tribalism is being used. If I'm to be very clear, is being used by the politician Some of them use it to whip the emotions of Kenyans so that they would vote in a particular way. Yeah. It's very, very, very much crucial about the tribalism. And when people talk about tribalism, or the politician talks about the tribalism, the people who suffers most are the Kenyan people. Yeah. Majority of people who suffers most are the Kenyan people. Come all the way from 207. It was about tribalism. There are those who lost their life because of tribalism. Until today, they've not gotten the justice. And it's the same narrative that is still in the political field, and whereby the politician use it to to to, to be as a campaign issues instead of concentrating on real issues that are affecting Kenyans. They tend to evoke or talk about the tribe. Yeah, yeah. So it is something that I think if it's to uh, be put to past, I think the people of Kenya themselves, they should chart a way on how are we going to uh, talk about tribalism. First of all, we have to agree that we are a community, or we are a country that has so many tribes. But if we have so many tribes, how can we as a country embrace our tribes positively without sending emotion, so without using it as a tool for campaign? Both the opposition and the members of the parliament, and mean those who are supporting the government, yeah, how can we use it in a positive way? So that's what I think we should do, because like if we leave it to the politician, then it will mess at some point. Hey, Miguda, how are you doing, sir?
Very, very great.
I lost you at some point.
Yeah, you lost me some time. Yeah, at some point, if I may finish.
Yeah.
Or, I was saying that we must find out what are the reasons why that boy or that man act in that manner. Because if at all there, it would be a domestic violence between the two parties.
Mhm.
But right now, when there is a domestic violence, not only women are victims, men are victims too.
Yeah.
Even there are sometimes where men are. So if you can find out the real issue, you can inquire the relevant facts of that case and what led to that incident.
Mhm.
Then we can come to conclusion and make a conclusion now whether the man was wrong or right. But for now, let us just wait for the investigative agency to finish and report to the public.
Okay, that is true. But I was talking of the face value because, like, one thing that we have to agree about the mental status right now, so many people are going through mental meltdown, you know, be it from challenges concerning uh, cost of living, be it challenge concerning good governance, be it challenge concerning the marriage issues, be it challenge concerning the community issues, so it's that meltdown and even including the depression. So I think at where we've reached as a country is a time that we should also put more effort on looking at the mental health as a big issue, or as an issue that should be dealt with, not only because we have seen what has happened, but even for future generation that is coming. And I was also talking about looking at the red flags, especially for those who were communities or neighbors to the guy, to the victim. Uh, what the guy acting abnormally than usual, that's out of usual. You know how somebody would behave, they showing kind of like very, very unusual behavior that would suggest something is wrong, because to the point whereby something like this happens, there must be a journey that was started somewhere, and along that journey there could be some uh, un, an abnormal, let's say, that behaviors. So that is, we will be waiting for the authorities to come up with the report, and we'll be waiting for that, and from there can be used to benchmark, and where should we start. Miguel, there's also an issue here that we need to talk about, the issue of tribalism. And as I lost you, I was saying that I think if we leave the politician to take the center stage talking about tribalism, but we are going to lose it. What do you think?
There should be even mental awareness among the boy child, because there are some cases which are not known. Many are not known. There are some cases which are not known, which are many, and we should do that mental awareness to the most of the boy child,
Yeah.
because there are so many cases that we are coming across. The issue of tribalism, I will agree with you that if we leave it in the hands of politicians to discuss it or to debate over it during their project tour or during the campaign,
Mhm.
obviously we are losing it as a country.
Yeah.
And the reason why we are losing it as a country is because these politicians do understand us very well. They understand that Kenya is a diverse country, and Kenya there must be divided along the ethnic tribe for you to for them for if they let us unite, we
Mhm.
are a threat to political class.
Yeah.
The moment we are united as a people in the
Mhm.
country, we are
Mhm.
going to be a threat to all of them. No one is exception. All of them are at a threat. That's why they with them our divisive is their strength. The moment we are divided, that's how they thrive.
Yeah.
That's why mm, they cannot allow the people of Kenya to discuss or to talk about that issue of unity or tribalism. That's why they have taken the center stage to
Mhm.
go ahead and talk about the issue of tribalism. That's why you have seen there are some factors whereby the people,
Mhm.
they are popular, there are some people who are tribal.
Yeah.
But if you add those people who are calling out other people to be tribal, whatever they're trying to talk, they're just like divisive leaders.
Yeah.
They're trying to divide people along how development should come to their region or now people should be employed. They're trying to bring the issue that certain region think that they are super than other
Mhm.
region. And when these are leaders talking about tribal, so I think we have lost it as a country
Mhm.
because we have left it in the hands of politicians or leaders talk about it. But if at all we could be talking about, if we could be talking as our citizens, it's
Mhm.
a threat to the political class. That's why I say I agree with you that obviously we have lost it.
Now, the reason why I'm bringing about the issue of tribal, because this is informed by the utterances, especially that I saw or I witnessed when the president was touring the Western Kenyan bloc. If you look at Western Kenya bloc and all the projects that the president was doing, and the Western Kenya bloc is controlled by a tribe. That is something that we have to agree. Yeah, it is controlled by a tribe. But when you go or when you go to that country, that part of the country, the Western, or be it Nyanza, or be it Northeastern, any region of the country, because as a president, you have to visit all this region. But you find that the people that you are with are talking about isolation of another region, yet you don't call it out, or even the leaders who are accompanying you are not calling it out. How can we classify that? How can we classify? Should we classify it as a tribalism, or we can classify it as a political as usual?
I will not. I will not classify as a tribalism. I
Yeah,
would like to classify as a divisive politics.
yeah,
And the only way you can play that divisive politics is by appealing to the people of that tribe.
yeah.
You need to appeal to them that you have been isolated for the long time. Because even if you had the president before you got the leaders, he
Mhm,
was saying that tangu Kenya wapate uhuru, tangu Kenya wapate uhuru. It
mhm.
means that there have been some presidents before,
Yeah,
and these presidents have never done anything. It means that you people you have been isolated from independence. That's what it's telling the people of Western people. But now I'm the Messiah. I'm here. I've decided to remember you people. That is what they are trying to communicate to the people. That's why I like just a DVC policy. You want to make it look like he's the one who has come to rescue the Western region of the country. And this is the region of the country, therefore, must give him a second term
mhm,
because he's unlike other presidents who have come before and have never done anything to them. He's like he's trying to get it to the people that with me you are safer
yeah.
than with those people. Because those people, whenever they get opportunity to rule, they consider only their region. If it comes to infrastructure, they're only taking to central. If it comes to people like, because he even heard what he said. I don't want to talk about leaders first. I talk about president.
Yeah.
He said that the issue, the coffee
Mm.
and tea farmers have been given bonuses from time immemorial,
Yeah.
and there have been no complaint. Why is that? When we are giving the farmers of sugarcane western region,
Yeah.
complaints are coming from central, to be specific, regarding Gachagua and Kalonzo Musyoka.
Mm.
He tries to tell the people that you have been isolated by those people. They believe that you don't deserve like them, but they are the only people who deserve. Is That's why I want to talk about divisive politics. But then I said that that divisive politics, it benefits them
Yeah.
as William Ruto, because it gives him a very good way to exit from the central region
Yeah.
and giving him a good entrance into the western region, that I got your back. You are my people.
Yeah.
Let us join hands and fight these people together. He's like looking for a place to get into, and
Yeah.
is mostly targeting the western region, because sometimes, in my view,
Yeah.
maybe Mr. President is certain sure that he has taken the Luo nation,
Yeah.
that now he's just going to the Western lower nation, because you want to go with the western part of the country,
Mm.
because it is very clear, and yeah, there is no debate that Mount Kenya is gone, and everybody's talking about Mount Kenya is gone. It's only for that those who don't live in the country can say that Mount Kenya is no longer with him,
Yeah.
and that's why he has to take side that liwe liwalo, wacha nikupe na watu wa western.
Okay. Now, when you say that you were isolated, and you look at it in each and every government, every region has always have people employed, or the people who are very influential being brought into any government that is working to make them feel like you're part of the government. Yeah. Yeah. And now you're talking about isolation. But at the end of the day, because despite the fact that these were the tour that president was doing, they were development tours, to the western, the western Kenya, you know. But at the end of the day, all of them at the end of the day will translate to voting block. Is it is that one true?
Yeah,
Hello, Miku?
it cannot translate. Yeah, it's true. I got you very right.
Yeah, because
At the end of the day, it will turn into voting block.
yeah.
And there is a say in Kiswahili that maneno kama haya si mageni mjini,
Hey,
because
eh,
we have seen these things before.
yeah,
And this could be my input.
yeah,
William Ruto is a shrewd politician.
yeah,
William Ruto is a forward planner, and William Ruto he understands very well how to take power.
yeah.
This is just my input, not
Mhm,
that I'm a supporter of him,
yeah.
because William Ruto knew very well that 2022 he will use Mount Kenya to
Mhm,
get into power.
yeah,
Invested in Mount Kenya. And William does not invest where he knows that he's not going to get any vote. That's why he ignored the western part of the country. He never even come to those regions to campaign. He camped in Mount Kenya. He was giving people money like 200,000, 300,000 to school kids. He used to
just-
do that one in Mount Kenya, and every Sunday go to church, because he knew very well that this is my potential constituency. That if I lose it, I'm done 2022.
yeah,
And he did it perfectly until he won. Right now, William Ruto has seen that there's nothing is going to get him out of Kenya.
yeah,
As a politician and a forward planner, what do you do? The reason why I'm saying that he's a smart politician,
yeah,
because right now he's in Western region, but that is where his money is also going to. Because I also saw him giving school kids 300 Ks, primary, then high school 200 Ks. He's pumping money Western region the way he used to pump in Central. To me,
mm,
even whether it's development tour or not, to him it doesn't matter. To him, he just want it to turn to voting block, the way you have said.
yeah,
He's interested in voting block in that Western region as his voting block in 2027.
yeah,
And the reason why I'm saying is this guy is a very cunning politician. What if in Central Province, whatever was displaying on the screen as a result
mhm,
were not result? There was some mischief that he did. You cannot defend that, because you said I was camping in Central Province. So those votes are real. Right now, even the people of Western might not turn out to vote for him. But what if he does whatever they want to do with Sudi, the likes of Sudi, they were saying that they will do something.
Yeah.
What if they do something in Western Kenya? They say, okay, alienda Central Uko, alicamp, now these are the real votes. That's
Oh,
how, in my view, I can say this guy is very cunning and a shrewd politician.
I agree with you, but I was driving my point at this because I'm looking at it because, like, what I want to demystify is about the narrative that the political will be playing. This includes even those who are opposed to president, the issue of tribalism. Yeah. And how can we use the tribalism in a way that do not bring divisive or do not side or incite two communities or any other region against one another? Because at the end of the day, I tell you, you've talked of those money president being given. It will translate to the voting block. That is one. Then after translating to voting block, I'm looking at that voting block. Where are they coming from? Are they from your community? No, right? They're not from your community. Then it also brings to us in political field. If I disagree with you, if I don't go with what you want, either in opposition or not in the opposition, but still you're being labeled tribal. Does it mean that if we disagree on the issues, then I'm tribal? Or how does this one work? At what point should we classify somebody that this is tribal kind of politics that you are playing?
Classifying tribal is not easy because
Hmm.
it worked to the advantage of the political class because some of them use it as a beneficial tool
Yeah.
when it's come to election.
Hmm.
If there are some regions wherever they are, they are labeling other to be tribals.
Yeah.
But whatever they're doing in those regions is not further from tribal. That's why I'm saying it's not very easy to classify tribalism to what extent. But I don't think if we are sooner closer to where we are going to be tribeless in this country,
Hmm.
because politicians use it for their own advantage.
Okay.
Because if somebody, for instance, was impeached based
Yeah.
on the incompetency,
Hmm.
if at all it was why are they still labeling him as a tribal person?
Yeah.
And other people who have tried to bolt out from the administration are
Hmm.
being labeled as a tribal people. It is just working because if you incite other community against the other people, then those people are tribal. Like I had someone saying that when Uru was given opportunity, he appointed people from his tribe. If you are labeling the central people to be tribal
Yeah.
and you are going to other part of the region and you are telling them that these people are tribal, I think it's just working to the advantage of politicians. You just want to divide people and create animosity among the people that on the other part, those people are tribal. But with you people, you are not tribal. But the real issue on the ground, he
Hmm.
just want to turn to be a voting bloc for
Yeah.
his own advantage. He doesn't speak it as honest from his mouth.
Okay, thank you so much, Miguda. The issue of tribalism and the tribe and the politics of tribe, I think it is high time that as a country, not supporting each and every side, but all of them, including Rigathi Gachagua and everyone who might be playing that politics of tribe. I think they should play it safely so that we have a better country. And just talking about the same tribe, Rigathi today, especially on when he was on the TikTok live today, I think he's coming. That is another new strategy that we are seeing the deputy president is employing of meeting the Kenyan people or meeting his followers through TikTok. That is another way because if you check at his TikTok, there were almost, I don't know, 8,000 people. Or how many were they watching?
8.9, that is 9Ks.
9K. And that is a larger audience. So, which means the deputy president has, that is another strategy of how reaching people on the space. This one will reduce contact with the people who do not align to his ideology. Remember the other day, Maina Jenga stormed the meeting that was the prayer meeting that was organized by the Pastor Dorcas, the wife of the former deputy president. So such like issues cannot happen on the space, you know. So that is another strategy that I think Rigathi Gachagua is now employing to preach the message to his people. That is one. And today there are few things that Rigathi Gachagua really responded to the president. Remember, yesterday the president said that he's corrupt, he's yeye ni mwizi, yeye ni mzembe katika kazi. Na amesema vitu vingi sana. Jambo la kwanza labda raisi aliyekuwa naibu wa rais alisema, amesema hivi, the problem of President William Ruto has a problem with Mount Kenya. That's what he said. The president has a problem with Mount Kenya. So that is one thing he said, and I want to know your remark on that. Another thing he said, bringing people of Kenya under the narrative of unity. He is doing it to isolate Mount Kenya from the rest of the country. That is from his speech. He talked about, oh, maybe before I mention others, what is your take about? He says that the President William Ruto has a problem with the Mount Kenya. Do you agree with him? Because that is, I quote, that is one of the things he said on the TikTok.
First, when he was addressing people at the TikTok, he was addressing a large audience to 9K people. And Mr. President was addressing maybe 1,000 people in a certain region. But when Rigiji talked on TikTok, he was talking to diverse people of different age, different places, some in the cities, some in the villages. It means he was giving the Gen Z platform because currently, the opposition is online. Opposition has gone online. Now he was giving the people, he was setting the stage for them that counter him on these grounds because he's lying in Western region. Now, these are the things he used to come. He was laying ground for those. But that's why he used to talk TikTok to give people whatever people can say. That's why Rigiji trended. And the reason I don't want to emphasize that Ruto has a problem with Kenya because there are questions that we must ask Rigiji. Who is Mount Kenya? And who are Mount Kenya? Does it mean that when they have differences regarding Gachagua, now it's a Mount Kenya issue? That's the question we should ask ourselves. That when when Rigathi Gachagua is isolated, the Mount Kenya people all of them are isolated. Does it mean that the Mount Kenya people is Rigathi Gachagua? If that is the case, then I don't think is genuine. But if that is not the case, that there is a real issue on the ground, which might be true because I also meet Mount Kenya people and they are not. The fact is, what I know that Mount Kenya is gone from the ground. If you talk with the people, if you talk to the people, Kikuyu Nation is no longer with William Ruto. That's a fact.
Yeah.
I don't know how can we say it to a language that he can understand it. But Rigathi Gachagua said that the people of Mount Kenya or the president has a problem with the Mount Kenya people. I don't understand it because you understand that right now they are gone, and you don't need to force this thing. If it is gone, it's gone. You cannot force someone to love you, or you cannot force someone to vote for you. If it is gone, it's gone. Let them just chart their own way politically. That's why the issue of tribalism is not working perfect in the country because they're just coming. Even regarding just saying that Mount Kenya people. What about other regions? Because in my view, all Kenyans have problem with William Ruto, not Mount Kenya. Each and every person in this country has a problem with the president. The Eastern people, the coastal people, the Luo Nation, the Kisis. You heard the way Simbarati talked the other day. Even the same Western region, people have problems with him. Rigathi Gachagua cannot isolate Mount Kenya. That we, the Mount Kenya, never with William Ruto. They are not alone. Each and every Kenya has a problem with Mr. President. That's why we are saying this issue of tribalism is being played in both sides. Rigaji's camp, President's camp, for their own benefit, but at the extent of dividing the people. The political of divisive, the one I told you, divisive politics, they're playing it at their own interest.
Okay. So, and maybe this one varies from what people expect from the president, if I might get you right. Because maybe when you go to Busia, there are people who feel like, despite the fact that maybe there are things that president has done there, they still feel dissatisfied with the leadership of the president. So you're saying that um, Rigathi Gachagua should not isolate Mount Kenya, or should put the differences that they have with the president to be a Mount Kenya issue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because the same Rigiji
Yeah,
want to work with people like Natembeya.
yeah,
Natembeya is in Western Province.
hmm,
Natembeya also has a problem with the president. The
yeah,
residents of Trans Nzoia has a problem with the Mr. President. Let
hmm,
him not use it as a Mount Kenya issue that the only people who have a problem with the Mr. President are exclusively the Mount Kenyan people. No, 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 no.
yeah,
People have problem with Mr. President across the country. Let him not isolate Mount Kenya from other Kenyans, that they are the only people who have a problem with William Ruto.
yeah,
People are asking questions, even within ODM. There are members of ODM who have problem with Mr. President and asking questions. If
yeah,
you go to the same Western province, people like Salasia have problem with Mr. President. Across the region, there is no region whereby we can say that we are contented with Mr. President. Therefore, Rigathi Gachagua should not isolate the people of Mount Kenya against other people, that they are the only people who have problem with Mr. President.
yeah.
No, 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 no. People have problem with Mr. President, and people are questioning it. If he's talking about Mount Kenya alone, it means that even the online group are from Mount Kenya. The online group are across the country. They
Yeah.
have problems. They are asking questions.
Okay.
That's why I disagree with him that the issue of isolating Mount Kenyan people,
Yeah.
that they're the only people who have problem with the president, as if other Kenyans are contented. That is very wrong.
Okay. Thank you so much. That is one of them. Another thing, issue that Rigathi Gachagua raised, it is that that incompetence that president is talking about. That the reason why he might have been kicked out of office because he was incompetent. Then he asked the people of Kenya knows very well that in the last 2 years that the president can tell us what he has done. So that is also something that Rigathi Gachagua raised. Another issue that he raised on his TikTok was about that he warned the people of Western Kenya that you should be very, very careful with the president, because everything that he is doing, he used to do them when he came to Central Kenya. He came to Mount Kenya every Sunday. He knows every road and maybe every name of um the every name of the communities in Mount Kenya, because he used to be a frequent visitor each and every Sunday. So he was telling the people of the Western, those that the president is doing, he did them to us. So you should be very wary of that. That is one issue that Rigathi Gachagua also mentioned on the part of the president to rebuttal him. Another thing that also he talked about, so that by discussing Rigathi Gachagua on a project or a development tour, he says the following: discussing about Gachagua is in Busia will not build roads, in Vihiga will not bring tap water, in Luanda will not bring about development, but he should concentrate on development agenda. So that is another thing that Rigathi Gachagua raised when he was on the TikTok.
The issue of incompetency,
Yeah,
I will agree with Rigathi Gachagua that he tackled the president rightly, because when it comes to incompetency,
yeah,
if at all the president could be competent,
yeah,
there could be no these questions being raising all over, and
yeah,
even there could be no demonstration last year to an extent of breaching parliament. Those are the signs that there is incompetency in the government, and even the division in the cabinet shows that there's incompetency. There, Rigathi Gachagua was admitting that he was impeached because of incompetency.
yeah,
Therefore, the current president is so incompetent. So all of them should be impeached. If it's a matter of incompetency, nobody should lecture Rigathi Gachagua about incompetency, because the people lecturing about incompetency are the same. They are also incompetent as well. That's what he was trying to say.
yeah,
But the issue of Mr. President going to Western region using the same style he used in the previous election to who the
Yeah.
Western people to vote for him. Rigathi Gachagua, that one I'll disagree with him because that is the president's style of politics.
Yeah.
And if you use it successfully previously, why not now? And you cannot control anybody's style of politics.
Mm.
You cannot control that. Benson, you must do this kind of politics. No, just let him play his politics. It's up to the people of Western Province now. If they will be convinced the way Mount Kenya people are convinced, it's up to them. But if they will be not convinced, it's also up to them. But I believe that is his politics. That is his style of politics. And at his age, it does. It's not much creative because also with time, he might do the same thing, same time, and expect the same result. That is his way of politics, and you cannot control someone's way of politics. Finally, the issue you are talking about, the issue of they were discussing regarding Gachagua
Yeah.
in the development tower.
Mhm.
I don't see anything wrong with that politically because if you regard Gachagua in churches, he also discuss them
Yeah.
because even when he's in church in Laikipia, he talk about Mr. President. When he was churching here, he talk about Mr. President.
When he was
It's
on
just like
when he was on TikTok, he was talking about the president, right?
we talk about the president. So what is wrong with the president? Talk about him and the entourage talk about him. It's politics. They have to because if they are meeting the people
Yeah.
and the people must be told about the opponent. The
Mhm.
people must be told negative things about the opponent. The way is also telling the people in the center negative things about the president. That is purely politics.
Yeah.
That's just politics. There's no cause for alarm there. The church should not just let them play their politics.
Because like this is a political competition, and each and every person wants to get um an audience, because they know the people who are going to determine who is who in the election, um other people. So the idea of maybe saying he's talking about, because that's also a way in which the president can also create perception, because politics is all about perception. And if you take very keenly on what some of the politicians, what they're saying when they are on those rallies, some of it do not make sense. you know they are just used to create that emotional you know bring that emotions out. you know yeah. So that's I think what is happening. So I think like we should not limit either Rigathi Gachagua or any other person who is going to politics on what to talk about or what to say in kind of any political rally they are in. Yeah, they can just say anything they like, but the judgment day will come with the voters who will judge who to give the votes when that time comes.
Yeah, yeah. You will not control someone's politics.
Yeah.
Let them just because they are meeting the people, and the
Yeah.
people are the ones who are going to decide. They
Mhm.
have to they have to tell the people anything. They are politics just like religion. You must convert even two people in that crowd. There's two people who are convinced, and then now they are going to vote for Ruto.
Yeah.
So you can't control someone's politics. In my view,
Mm.
it's so unfair to decide for someone what to say and what not to say at what time and with which people.
Yeah. And uh, the another thing also that talking about controlling, because as I said, everybody's looking for a constituents, and you say as a salvation in a church rally, that those who will get salvation, but you cannot, somebody will uh, now it says that sikukuwa najua, lakini saizi nimejua SHA inafanya kazi. Kitambo labda alikuwa ametumia ikakataa, lakini venye sasa labda rais amekuja akazungumzia, atakuwa anasema kweli inafanya kazi, si ndio? Ama wewe unaonaje hapo?
Exactly. That's why I'm saying it's just like a religion whereby you can get 4 people for baptism.
Yeah.
When I conduct a crusade in my local area for 2 weeks, my target is to at least I get some people for baptism. If I can finish my crusade without baptizing even a single person, that
Yeah.
crusade was in vain. But at the end of my crusade, if I can get even 24 members for baptism, at least I've converted 24 souls. It's just
Mhm.
like politics. That two of Western region, maybe Mr. President has converted 200 people who are firm believer of him, and
Yeah.
they're saying, okay, the way you have just quoted, SHA is working. Affordable houses are good.
Yeah.
They're now convinced that this is the real deal.
Mhm. Mm. So, Miguda, maybe before we are still continuing with the conversation, but I met this that CJ Kome security detail with the drone. Uh, What would inform that? Have you met such like information on the internet about the withdrawal of CJ Kome security detail? And what is happening? Why could that one? Why is that one happening to the CJ Kome, the president of judiciary?
CJ Kome, judiciary should be left alone. Judiciary is independent, and it should be left alone even from the discussion. But what can inform the withdrawal of the security? Maybe they're just trying to threaten Lady Justice Martha Koome, but they will just retain those security to her. But let them just leave judiciary alone. The judiciary has been with the people for a long time. I don't know this where this war is coming from.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk much about judiciary. Let judiciary be.
Oh, okay. And it's something that is quite mind trending. So there's also an issue that we need to discuss. I had it. I don't know whether I did not get it correctly. About Justice Justin J.B. Muturi, that the president was not very happy with the Muturi, especially when he went to deliver the message of condolences to the family because people rejected. And from Rigathi Gachagua was saying that he was abuse through message. I don't know whether that one is true. It's just like a political, a political, you know, uh, saying emotions.
That could be a political emotion because you don't need to. The president was not happy. How must you be happy? No, not everybody must. Everybody must not please you. Like right now, the president, Mount Kenya is gone, and
Yeah,
that was. We do not expect the Embu people to laugh with Mr. President.
yeah,
They will not. They will not. They will not accept anything from him. Be
yeah,
it a condolence message, be it gift, the way he did in previous election, even be it even those holidays. If he can take those holidays into West Central region,
yeah.
still he will not please them. I don't know how he will reconcile with the people of Mount Kenya. That's a story of another day. The whether they will reconcile or not.
Okay, now this is 23rd, and this one will inform the reason why Justice, I mean JB Muturi did not attend the the meeting. This is what he said. This is the one. Let me check. This is the online chief. I don't know. I'm thinking. Did my absence stop the swearing in of commissioners? PSC in an independent commission. The CS is not a member of the commission. Their swearing in was not my function. I don't know. I don't know what was happening, and I'm seeing, and I think is back and forth between Muturi and the government. Yeah. Aya, this is what the president says. Kuna namnukuu kwa Kiswahili. Kuna wale wanasema tumeanza siasa, wacheni kuhara mapema, siasa bado. Tukianza si mtakimbia, ambia hao bado tunapangana na kazi. President William Ruto. Hao ndio matamshi ya rais. Alafu ndio hiyo sasa uh, um, Okuru Okot. He was talking about the abduction of Muturi. Yeah, the truth is that the CS Muturi son was arrested, not abducted. A new twist: this is a man in his 40s. Why his father speaking on his behalf of an adult? The media is giving too much publicity to this irrelevant situation. What is your take on what um, Okuru Okot is saying?
Okuro Court also must understand that there is politics game going on here. And in politics, you must create and those others are kids when it comes to politics. Remember when Ruto told Uhuru during the campaigns of previous years that bora usiguze watoto wangu. Na
Mm.
the watoto he was referring to were adults.
Yeah.
Politics, the adults are kids. You exhaust all your area for you to get sympathy card. whatever when you want to get out of the politics. The issue which the president talked about that siasa bado and mmeanza mapema ngojeni.
Yeah,
Siasa bado, but that's a clever way of trying to delay your opponents.
yeah,
He's saying siasa bado, but him is campaigning. Siasa
yeah,
bado, but he's busy looking for new allies. If you are his opponent, the earlier you start the better, because there is no time for politics. There will be no referee who will whistle the blow that now let us begin today. It begins even last year.
yeah,
That's a way of delaying his opponents not to campaign, but with him,
yeah.
he's on with the campaign.
Okay, now this was the message that I was looking for, and we can also discuss about it and look at the reason why Muturi, and even that's why the reason why even Muturi came out with that, and this is what the genesis of Muturi with this government started. This is a quote. This is what Rigathi Gachagua claims. Ruto wrote abusive message to Muturi after funeral heckling, Gachagua claims. Huh. Now you listen to that. This is what the message that I was telling you. And
Wrote,
this is
wrote, wrote, by, wrote by SMS or via WhatsApp. What was the mode of message?
the mode of message that that is what he claimed from that interview. He said something like that. I told you. So he said Ruto wrote abusive message to Muturi after funeral heckling. Gachagua says. Um, mhm. So this could have informed the reason why Muturi did not um, um, attend the cabinet meeting this year that was held in Kakamega. It seems like this is something that has been boiling for quite too long. It is not something that started the other day. So, what could have uh, made Muturi not to um, attend the meeting, even to come out to criticize the abduction? It could be this is the reason why.
Other than the reason, the issue at Embu,
Mhm,
whereby the president's speech was rejected by the residents, and later the way Rigathi Gachagua claimed that Mr. President wrote to Muturi.
mhm,
I think there have been back and forth between the state and JB Muturi.
mhm,
Even the issue of message and also the issue of abduction. Now you have had people like a coup recorder coming in to say that it was not abduction, it was arrest.
mhm,
Then if he was arrested, and the coup record is a good defender of the rule of law, understand law very well. If it was arrest, why could that person was arrested presented before a competent court? Why was he released later without any due process of the law? In my view, that was abduction.
and that's
There
what
have been
he was asking. Yeah.
there have been that back and forth between JB Muturi and I think JB Muturi has just decided he has selected his war with the president and he's heading on with Mr. President. Why there have been those issues like Gachagua is trying to make it look like there have been angles between president and Mount Kenya people,
Mhm.
even in the cabinet, not only him as the deputy president, former,
Yeah.
but even the person who was the CS in his cabinet, who was coming from Mount Kenya, he was having issue with that person to an extent
Yeah.
of abducting his son, to an extent of writing for him such messages. Why can't he do that why can't he do this thing to other people from other regions, even maybe from coastal, from Luo, Nyanza? Why is that the only Mount Kenya people? This is the thing we have been discussing here about this isolation and the issue of tribalism, that our leaders are using it wrongly to influence the divisive politics among the people who are very innocent in this contest.
And that's why, like, I was insisting that the issue of tribalism should be the people who should take charge to converse or to lead are the real people of Kenya. Because if you leave it to leadership, it 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 will play. You will not blame president for being tribal, as you blame the president maybe for being tribal, and blame even the Rigiji for being tribal. Because at the end of the day, it's a very sensitive um, uh, fabric. That how do we talk about it? Because, like, if it is true that what Rigathi Gachagua claimed that the president did to Muturi, so which means How will somebody from Mount Kenya receive that? How will he receive that? Will it receive it as being isolation, or he was done because he's coming from Mount Kenya region since we left or we are not in agreement with the president?
Not even the recipient,
Yeah.
but the messenger, the person who's delivering message. The
Yeah.
person who's delivering message will deliver it to a scenario whereby the recipient will get it directly that actually because JB was coming from Mount Kenya, that is why he was being mistreated in this government to an extent of abducting his son, to an extent of talking to him just like any other person, not like a colleague. Yeah,
Yeah.
this issue of isolation, tribalism,
Mhm.
the leaders knows that they are beneficiaries of tribalism and they're beneficiary of divisive politics. They want a region to command.
Yeah.
By you to get you must spread some hatred.
Mhm.
Actually, it is the leaders who are spreading even hatred among the community. And
Yeah.
even if their utterances
Yeah.
can be brought before court, there are utterances that should not be spread by a leader because we are creating division among the people. And you're the person who should be like Mr. President. Mr. President is the symbol of national unity. He's the one who should ensure that all Kenyans are united. We are all included in an inclusive government. You should not go to Western region and start spreading things like the people who are the coffee and the tea farmers are getting bonuses. But you people, you have been sidelined since we got independence.
So
He's trying to create division
not
that there.
yeah, yeah, that is true because like, let me sorry for cutting you off because like if you're saying that okay, the people of certain region have been receiving these bonuses, yeah, and now if you get these bonuses they are complaining, how will those farmers feel? Just to remember this is the same government, this is the same government, yeah, all of them are Kenyans, but you're telling them that this ought to have been there. And when it comes to bonuses also we have to look at ourselves where the bonuses is coming from. Is it coming from the government or is coming from the profit that the company is making?
That's why we are saying Mr. President is the symbol of national unity. With him, you should avoid those utterances. You should just talk about one Kenya, which is united and the indivisible country, not the issue of trying to divide people, even farmers, that the sugarcane farmers, the coffee farmers, the tea farmers are not equal. That is a very dangerous card from Mr. President. And the question you have asked about where is this money coming from? That question was directed to Mr. President by the people he referred to watermelon.
Yeah.
Those who asked him that, where do you get this money now you are bringing to the farmers? He person will talk about it.
Mhm.
Then Mr. President, like, he tried to answer that question I don't even, I never even got the right answer.
Mm.
But in my view, the bonuses should come from the profit of the company that should go to the farmers, but it should not come from somewhere whereby even the person who has brought it cannot explain where that money has come from.
But now when you look at I don't know because like I have not seen the audited report of Mumia Sugar and see how they've made profit this year or ever since the new investor came in. I've not seen that audited report. If I could have had an opportunity to look at that audited report, could inform my decision to say that okay, they should get the bonuses. And at least for avoidance of doubt, I think like such like communications for people to stop asking that question. So maybe the president should give a clear explanation to the people of Kenya how those bonuses were paid. You know, it will be good on his side, especially for doubting Thomases. Instead of saying that wako na akili mzuri kweli ama alisema nini nimesahau.
He was doubting their mental capacity.
Yeah, that is the head of state. Politics is usually like that. So let me take this opportunity to thank the following for we have Brenda. Thank you so much for joining us. Gibson, thank you so much for joining. Actually, Gibson, I will be giving you. We are still working on the on the modality or the framework on how we will be doing our first project, and those will be supporting us on how how if you can be in a position to contribute for us. And hopefully we are also working when we will be having that event. I think we will do it live. We will be doing it live, and so that you could join us through our live show while we do that. So we will give you a full update on what we are going to do. Miguda, I think Makobura is coming with the next show. Do you have anything to say? Oh,
Hello?
okay.
Hello?
Do you have anything to say?
Um, no. We'll just meet tomorrow. We just want to thank for those who have turning in that we appreciate you for your time and let us catch up tomorrow.
Okay, thank you so much, Gibson Connor. Thank you so much for your time, and we really, really appreciate you big time for your support. You've always supported us during our the highs and the lows. Yeah, when we are down, you've always been with us. When we are high, also you've been with us, and we thank you so much. And may God continue to bless you. And we are embarking on having guests. We are trying to talk to them nowadays. I'm seeing they're kind of like receptive. I think the politics is they are accepting the mode of politics. They are coming. So we will be hosting as much as we could to have different views and different opinion. And thank you so much, everyone, and may God bless you.